what surprised you from the results that we have seen so far?
I think most people expected a liberal government and that the minority majority question would be a balance. It would be a tough run thing. I think the biggest surprise for me of the night is that Pierre Poilievre has lost his seat. I think that is all but confirmed at this point. That is a huge upset on a night when the Conservatives actually picked up seats and popular vote across the country. To have him lose is frankly stunning.
Alex, what surprised you?
Well, me and Ryan were at the Liberal HQ last night, and the most surprising thing was like, given how much of in the context of the downfall of Trudeau and the resurrection of their fortunes under Carney, how much of a, in a sense, comeback win and an unlikely comeback win, or one that seemed unlikely just a few months ago, this was for the Liberals. That the mood was not more celebratory and jubilant. It felt in there like it was a bit wooden and muted, and they weren't going crazy. There was some cheering, but it wasn't like a massive party vibe. And that suggests to me that, and just being on the plane in the past week with Carney, and kind of in their bubble, it seemed like they were maybe expecting to get to that majority threshold. So there was, despite the fact that this was in the broader context quite a significant turnaround from the political landscape a few months ago. This result seemed almost impossible a few months ago. There was maybe a slight note of disappointment in the world of the Liberals that, at least as we're talking, they haven't achieved that majority threshold.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say that they expected the result would be a lot stronger than it was, right? You said, did the Conservatives expect a stronger result?
I think they certainly did. I think the one, like sort of as Ryan said, that just keeps jumping out at me is Poilievre's seat. You know, in Conservative headquarters last night, throughout the night, even when it looked like a very tight race with Poilievre's Liberal challenger, uh, many party staffers were telling me he's still going to win. It's we have this in the bag, and that is not what happened. I think on the flip side, though, if we kind of look at where the Conservatives had success, I think it was interesting to see that even though they did not form government, the degree to which they flipped strongholds, you know, particularly, you know, I'm thinking about former NDP MP Charlie Angus's seat in Northern Ontario, the degree to which the Conservatives completely obliterated the NDP there, that's an interesting result for sure.
Mark, you spend the evening with the NDP. Were they surprised by the end result?
Yeah, I what was odd to me was that it didn't seem like they were at all surprised by the results that came out. I was personally surprised. I mean, we looked at the national polling and people did expect there to be a collapse of NDP support, but I was stunned at how bad things were. I mean, so far the tally's at 7 seats, but 6% of the national vote. That's below what most polls, even the worst ones, had in terms of popular vote share. Um, and at the same time that Jagmeet would lose his seat, but also come in a distant third and resign on the same night. And of course, while people were sad, there were a lot of tears, a lot of hugs, but I don't think anyone was really surprised that any of this happened, which to me was telling.
It's interesting because it's like there were surprises for everyone, you know, like Rice and I and a bunch of other, well, Tonda and Rob Benzie worked on that story about what was happening in Fanjoy's riding, Pierre Poilievre's riding, and the party heavily pushed back, saying that this was basically like we were fake news that we were reporting. Um, the NDP was looking to hold official party status. That didn't happen. The voter turnout did not happen that the Liberals expected. The Liberals did not get the majority that they were hoping to get easily.